Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. Religious programs have been organized island-wide to mark Vesak. Thousands of devotees observe Sil. Special traffic plan in place in the city of Colombo. Nearly 1,000 prisoners have received presidential pardon. A lunar eclipse will be visible in Sri Lanka tonight. Funeral of veteran actor Nyanaga Gunawardena will take place in Borella tomorrow. The International Buddhist Convention of European countries will be held next week. In foreign news, second mass shooting in Serbia leaves 8 dead. Religious programs, including sale campaigns, have been organized island-wide to mark Vesak. The state Vesak festival is being held at the Sri Ratnasiri Pirivena Vihara in Chilau. The President inaugurated the Buddha Rashmi Vesak Zone, which is the national Vesak celebration organized by the Hunupitiya Gangarama Temple. The President's media division stated that the Vesak program includes various events organized at the Golf-Face Shangri-La Green and Presidential Secretariat premises till tomorrow. The national broadcaster, the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, has also organized several events island-wide to celebrate the Vesak festival. Special security measures will be in place across the island in view of the Vesak festival. Police spokesperson SSP Nihal Talduwa says the security program has been implemented at Vesak zones, temples and other places where religious events held. Meanwhile, the Public Health Inspectors Association says that around 7,000 dansalas have been registered for this year's Vesak season. However, they have decided to inspect the unregistered dansals too. The association further mentioned that around 3,000 PHIs will be deployed for this purpose. Religious programs including Sil campaigns have been organized island-wide to mark Vesak. Our correspondent said that thousands of devotees are observing Sil at the sacred city in Anuradhapura and elsewhere in the island. The Sri Lanka police have announced a special traffic plan in Colombo during the Vesak festival. After 4 years of subdued celebrations, Sri Lanka is celebrating the Vesak festival on a grand scale this time. Vesak zones are established in many parts of Colombo, including Bauddhaloka Mawatha and the Gangarama temple. Thereby, the police have designated specific areas to park vehicles in order to facilitate the people visiting these Vesak zones. The public is advised to not park their vehicles on main roads, by roads or on pavements, blocking the movement of traffic and pedestrians. The police said such vehicles would be removed and that fines would be imposed on the motorists for parking their vehicles improperly. Parking spaces have been arranged at Union Place, the Kompanya Vidya Junction, Ibbanwala Junction and Dharmapala Mawatha, FR Senanayaka Mawatha and also Vauxhall Street. Parking spaces near the Bauddhaloka Mawatha Vesak zone is at Maitland Place, Independence Mawatha, Vidya Mawatha and Sarana Road. The Colombo Lotus Tower Management Company has decided to keep the tower open till midnight today and tomorrow in celebration of the Vesak festival. The tower will be fully lit up on these days. A penumbral lunar eclipse will be visible to Sri Lanka tonight. Professor Chandana Jayaratna of the Colombo University said the eclipse begins at 8:44 p.m. Sri Lanka Standard Time, with the moon entering the penumbra of the Earth's shadow and ends at 1:01 a.m. tomorrow. Lunar eclipses occur on full moon days when the Earth comes between the Sun and the Moon, which results in the obstruction of or some of all of the Sun's light from reaching the Moon. The climax of the eclipse will take place at 10:52 p.m. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. The President has decided to offer a special state amnesty to prison inmates on the occasion of the Vesak Full Moon Poya Day. Prison spokesman Chandana Ekanaika says 982 male prisoners and 6 female prisoners are scheduled to be released from all prisons in the country today under the special presidential pardon. The National Building Research Organization has issued a Level 2 landslide warning for several areas in 2 districts. The landslide warning was issued for the Passare area in the Badulla district and the Nagoda and Alpitia areas in the Galle district. The NBRO said that rains may exceed 75 millimeters in the said areas within the next 24 hours. People residing in such areas should be watchful about possible landslides, rockfalls and flooding. Veteran actor Nyananga Gunawardena passed away yesterday at the age of 78. Gunawardana's remains will lie at a private funeral parlour in Borella today, and the final rites will be performed at 3 p.m. tomorrow. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The International Buddhist Convention of European countries will be held from the 12th to the 14th of May in Vienna, Austria. Incumbent of the Sri Lankarame in Germany, the Venerable Ratmale Panyaratanathera said that hundreds of bhikkhus and intellectuals representing European and Asian countries such as Italy, France, Greece, Austria, Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, China, Japan and several other countries will take part in the convention, which is going to be held for the first time. It has been scheduled to deliver several exclusive lectures by veteran personnel in various fields at the convention, aiming to convey the true picture of Buddhism to the world. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
A look at Watchlight. The National Dengue Control Unit Medical Officer and Assistant Secretary of the Sri Lanka Medical Association, Dr. Lahiro Koditoaku, said that the number of dengue cases that have been reported in Sri Lanka have exceeded 30,000 in the last 4 months of this year. According to the SLMA data, during this period, 15 persons had died of the mosquito-borne disease. Dr. Koditoaku said the highest number of dengue patients are reported from the districts of Colombo and Gampaha in the Western Province. The general public is requested to consult a government physician immediately if a person has fever for over 2 days. That came to you in Watchlight. World News Headlines. Second mass shooting in Serbia leaves 8 dead. Buckingham Palace balcony guessing games go on. Meteosat 12, Europe's new weather satellite, takes first photos. Several people have been killed and at least 10 injured in the second mass shooting in Serbia in many days. The gunman is reportedly fired at automatic weapons from a moving vehicle near a village 60 kilometers south of Belgrade. Unconfirmed reports say that the perpetrator is still on the run. Early this week, a teenager killed 8 students at a school in Belgrade in the worst mass shooting to occur in Serbia in years. Even at this late stage, there is no confirmation about which members of the royal family will be on the famous balcony of Buckingham Palace after the coronation service. This will be one of the most iconic images of the day, so nothing will be accidental about how it is staged. The lack of certainty about who will appear on this royal stage has been presented as keeping something back for the big day. On Saturday afternoon, after the procession gets back from Westminster Abbey, the curtains will be pulled back and a number of invited guests will step out onto the palace balcony, looking out over the gates and at the crowd below. The first images from Europe's new weather satellite, Meteosat 12, have just been released. The spacecraft, which sits 36,000 kilometers above the equator, was launched in December and is currently in a testing phase that will last most of this year. When Meteosat SAT-12's data is finally released to meteorological agencies, it's expected to bring about a step change in forecasting skills. Warnings of imminent hazardous conditions should improve greatly. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Second mass shooting in Serbia leaves 8 dead. Buckingham Palace balcony guessing games go on. Meteosat-12, Europe's new weather satellite, takes first photos. That ends this bulletin of world news.
Development news.
The Cabinet of Ministers has granted their consent to the proposal forwarded by the Cultural Affairs Minister to manage the Tele-Cinema Park in Ranminithanna under a public-private partnership. Dr. Bandaluganavaradana says that the Tele-Cinema Park will be developed under a public-private partnership after considering the report submitted by the relevant agency. That was development news. On to sports news. Rajasthan Royals lead owner Manoj Badel says the future of Test cricket might be made a once-a-year event like the Wimbledon tennis tournament. According to him, one of the biggest issues cricket fans faces in the scheduling, with some sides playing 2 series in 2 different formats concurrently in recent years. Badel estimates some of the world's best players can play cricket on 220 to 230 days of the year across T20, one-day and tests. That was sports news.
Go ekathiyana youth ekat life eke change ekat niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekat niyamata set wenna friendship එක menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
We take a look at business news. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Singh Balapitiya says Sri Lanka will announce its debt restructuring strategy within this month. The government also intends to bring down taxes and decrease debt to GDP in the coming years. Speaking to reporters yesterday, CM Balapitiya said the government plans to gradually reduce newly increased taxes over the next 5 years once revenue targets have been met upon further expansion of the tax base. That was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekathiyana youth ekat life eke change ekat niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekat niyamata set wenna friendship එක menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of... For the 5th consecutive year, LOLC is awarded People's Financial Services Brand of the Year at the 2022 Slim Kantar People's Awards. As the People's Financial Services Brand of the Year, LOLC continues to place the customer first, and this has won the hearts, minds and trust of Sri Lankans, with yet another prestigious award as proof of this lasting commitment. LOLC. Imagine the possibilities.
The Parliament will take up for debate a bill for a new central bank law on the 11th of May and a welfare benefit bill on the 12th of May. The controversial new central bank is expected to legalize output gap targeting, printing money for growth as a objective. The banks will also get a legal mandate to simultaneously operate money and exchange policies in the course of operating flexible inflation targeting regime. And finally, we take a look at the weather report.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather report.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabragamuwa, northwestern, southern, northern and eastern provinces. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters are likely at some places. Showers or thundershowers will occur elsewhere, particularly during the afternoon or at night. Strong winds, about 40 to 50 kilometers, can be expected over the western and southern coastal areas at times. To end this afternoon's news broadcast, headlines again. Religious programs have been organized island-wide to mark Vesak. Thousands of devotees observe Sil. Special traffic plan in place in the city of Colombo. Nearly 1,000 prisoners have received presidential pardon. A lunar eclipse will be visible in Sri Lanka tonight. Funeral of veteran actor Nyananga Gunawardena will take place in Borella tomorrow. The International Buddhist Convention of European countries will be held next week. In foreign news, second mass shooting leaves 8 dead. That ends this afternoon's news broadcast.